We go through this every year. You know perfectly well what holiday it is.
Okay. Happy Halloween, everybody. Whoopee.
It's the Paul Lynde Halloween Special.
Hey gang, see if my mic's better. Here we go. Once again, we're looking at another TV show. Well, actually, this is a special. And going back to the heyday of the 70s, which was very big on the musical variety. I mean, the TV shows during that time. You had Sonny and Cher, Sonny without Cher, Cher without Sonny. Then Sonny and Cher together again. There was Carol Burnett. And I know you're saying, but that was a comedy sketch show. Yes, but they always had musical numbers too. Captain and Tennille, Donnie and Marie, Pink Lady and Jeff. The Brady Bunch had a variety show. And Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters. Dolly Parton. And Susan and Mel, in which country crooner Mel Tillis teamed with supermodel Susan Anton for a variety show. And then there were the one-off specials. If you were part of a popular TV show, you could get a comedy special. Or I should say a musical variety special. Telly Savalas, Linda Carter. Both Hal Linden and Steve Landsberg of Barney Miller both got musical variety specials. It's crazy. Which brings us to Paul Lynde. He was a popular comedian, probably best known for playing Uncle Arthur on Bewitched, and for his long tenure as the center square on Hollywood Squares. Almost forgot it there. And I'll admit, I always loved when they called on Paul because I loved his snarky little one-liners. And he was a popular actor. Very familiar to TV audiences. He appeared on a lot of different TV shows, had appearances in films. And he had a sitcom, The Paul Lynde Show, but it didn't do well. But due to his contract with the network, he did a series of specials. And we opened this special for Halloween as he goes through Christmas, Easter, Valentine's Day, hoping it's one of those. Until finally his maid, Margaret Hamilton, playing Margaret, gets him to admit it's Halloween. And after the credits, he comes out on stage and does a little stand-up.
It's been a year since my last special. Was it something I said?
After that, we get a interesting reworked version of Kids from Bye Bye Birdie, which Lynn had sung in the film version back in the 60s. And he's changed it around to make it more Halloween oriented. And it has a bang of an ending.
I tell you, I've had it with you little monsters. Who's responsible for this?
You Darling Marie, real cute.
Which brings us to the plot of the special. Yes, there was a plot. Not only is this a musical variety show, it's also part sitcom. And this plot involves his maid Margaret driving Paul out of town to her sister's.
We're almost there, Mr. Lynde.
Which house is it, Margaret?
There, at the top of the hill.
Always loved his reactions. He's very, just that face. Yes, they're going to a spooky old castle. And that's not the only surprise for Paul.
Welcome to Bloomsbury Manor. Won't you come in?
What's my second choice? Gotcha.
Yep. It's Billy Hayes as Witchy Poo. Margaret then reveals herself to be the Wicked Witch of the West from The Wizard of Oz. And Lynde isn't really all that thrilled with this, but they brought him there for a reason, a special reason. They need his help to change their image with the public. They're really not that bad, and they'd like his help with expressing that. And as incentive, they're going to sign him up with Miss Halloween.
You're Paul?
Oh, not necessarily.
But you promised me a date with Paul Newman.
I've been told there is a striking resemblance right around the chin.
Yes. Well, we can remove that with a little lotion, dear.
That's Betty White. And at this point in her career, she was best known for playing a rather condescending and man-hungry character on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, so she's playing into that here. She wouldn't become the dim bulb, as it were, on the Golden Girls till later. Bit of trivia there. Originally, she was cast as the Blanche role on the Golden Girls because that was the type of character she played on Mary Tyler Moore. And Rue McClanahan was cast as Rose because that's the type of character she played on Maude. But they thought it would be more interesting if they played each other's characters, and so they convinced the studio to let them switch, and the rest is history. But to get back to the special, the date with Miss Halloween doesn't come to be, so they also will grant him 3 wishes for his help. And in his first wish, this is where the show becomes a sketch comedy show. None of which have anything to do with Halloween. Because for his first wish, well, here, you'll see.
I'm called the Rhinestone Trucker because that is my name.
Yep. He's the most flamboyantly fabulous trucker on the road. Most of the skit is taken up with the fact that Lynn and a rival trucker, played by Tim Conway, are both vying for the affection of the waitress Hinky Pinky, played by Roz Kelly, who at that point was best known for playing Pinky Tuscadero on Happy Days. And so they go to a contest to see who's the strongest.
Hold these, Mabel, and keep your eyes on that table.
But it turns out neither one of them is actually the strongest.
All right. Who left this 18-wheeler in here?
the great Billy Barty. Gotta love him. Great comedian. Always loved when he'd pop up in a project. Well, since he was the strongest, they decided he was the smartest, which unfortunately turns out to be Conway's character. But Lynde has an ace up his sleeve.
Called it. He may be the strongest and he may be the smartest. But I am the richest.
Girl has to be practical.
Well, who else wouldn't fall for that? This skit ends with a basically wedding hoedown, where they all sing the wedding vows. After that, Paul is returned to the castle, and being a little stressed out, the witches decide that maybe he needs a little chamber music, and they have just the quartet for him to listen to.
Okay, boys, play something a little peaceful for Mr. Lynde.
She's a big Kiss fan. Come on. You know, I can't show that. Copyright. It's Kiss in their network debut. And they perform a truncated version of Detroit Rock City, which was a popular tune from the Destroyer album, which had come out that year. After that performance, Lynde gets into an argument with the witches and wishes he was in the middle of the desert. But he does make some adjustments to the wish so that he is a...
Because I'm a very sheik. That's why they call me Florence of Arabia.
And the sheik is kidnapped a beautiful English woman, Florence Henderson, and is trying to woo her. But that cold British upper crust attitude of hers is impossible to break through, not with money or jewels, except for one thing.
A cockatoo. Once kissed by Beretta.
Oh, I'm yours. Lay it on me lips.
Before love can be expressed, disaster strikes.
Our love is sealed.
From now on, nothing will keep us apart.
No.
Aha! I have you at last.
But not to worry. All ends well with the sheik giving the foreign legionnaire the cockatoo. And he and the English love of his life fade out together. Lynde comes back again. And for his last wish, he decides to give that to the two witches, since they've given him so much in the form of his first two wishes. And they decide they want to go to a disco. And they make him the master of ceremonies.
I love a haunted discotheque. There's no cover, no minimum.
And no exit.
Yep, every joke he tells, they step on his lines and do the punchline themselves. But he does get to introduce Florence Henderson, who comes out and performs a rockin' disco version of that old black magic. Then, after they return from the party, Kiss performs Beth, truncated again. After which, there's a little banter between Lynde and the gang.
Hi, fellas. Yeah, just what I've always wanted. 4 kisses on the first date.
After not laughing at any of Lynde's jokes and Gene Simmons failing to intimidate Paul Lynde, they then perform King of the Nighttime World and finish it in typical Kiss fashion. Yeah, that was always my favorite part too. loves Kiss. Anyway, we now come to the end of the special. And with Kiss up in the balcony observing the party, we get Paul Lynde discoing.
Shake it up, shake it down, move it in, move it round, disco baby.
Okay. Enough kidding aside, though. After that, Lynde thanks all his guests, and over the credits, gives Margaret Hamilton a big old kiss on the lips. Happy Halloween, everybody. It's a fun little special. The skits themselves, not really Halloween oriented, but they're funny, especially if you got Tim Conway to play off of. And Florence Henderson, she's always been a good comedian, great singer. Of course, she was a Broadway actress before the Brady Bunch. And the whole thing with Margaret Hamilton and Billy Hayes together. How often do you get to see the Wicked Witch of the West and Witchy Poo sharing screen time together? You don't. That's what made this so nostalgic, you know? I mean, I grew up watching these people. Actually, I saw this special when it aired. I loved Paul Lynde. Still do. He's so funny. I love that snarkiness of his. And I like the opening of the whole thing where they go up to the castle and he really doesn't want to deal with the witches, and you've got all these great characters coming in. Billy Barty plays the major domo of the castle, and there's just all kinds of goofy stuff in it. It is a product of its time, hence the disco music, but this was great to see Kiss back in their prime with all four members before their differences broke up the original quartet. And it's just a fun little special. And I would say check it out, especially if you like snarkiness, which Lynde was a master of. That's about all I have to say about this one. Please hit like, share, and subscribe. And stay after the credits for my favorite scene, where you get to see Lynde at his snarky best.
And your makeup is something else. How long does it take you to put it on?
We don't wear makeup.
Why don't you push the down button on your elevator shoes?